Here is the motion picture record released by the United States Navy of the havoc wrought by the Japs' sneak sky and sea raid on Pearl Harbor, America's mid-Pacific naval bastion. On December 7th, 1941, Japan, like its infamous Axis partners, struck first and declared war afterwards. Costly to our Navy was the loss of war vessels, airplanes, and equipment, but more costly to Japan was the effectiveness of its foul attack in immediately unifying America in its determination to fight and win the war thrust upon it, and to win the peace that will follow. At low tide, the huge propeller of the Oklahoma, stilled by the enemy, was high above water. Here is the actual bombing of the mighty USS Arizona by Jap planes. These pictures were made by a fearless cameraman who thought nothing of his personal safety to make possible this record for all posterity.
My name is Ed Schuler. I was a fire controlman second class on the USS Phoenix, CL-46 light cruiser, commissioned 1938, 61 feet wide, 605 feet long. We had 8 5-inch 51s and 5 turrets, 3 guns each of 60 gun. And the main battery we had was so effective we could put 120 rounds in the air, maximum range, before the first one hit.
Wow.
So it was a fairly new ship, commissioned in 38. Here we were in 1941. We were very fortunate. We were tied to number 10 dock, and we had some passengers. We moved them, brought them to the Arizona, and they're no longer with us, but we moved to a buoy near Aiea, near the Nevada. We were able to get out. They let us alone on the first wave, but the second wave, they tried to get us. And we came by the Arizona when she blew up for about the 3rd time, and blistered the paint on our starboard side, and we proceeded out past the Oklahoma, and we were doing about 23 knots when we got to the mouth of the channel. The Japanese plane strafed us there too. So we made it out, met up with a small armada, and chased the Japanese till Wednesday. Unfortunately, didn't catch them because they had a bigger bunch of ships, much stronger than we had. We came back into Pearl Harbor, and the Marines and sailors were lined up on the shore in slit trenches, cheering us on like we'd already conquered, which was not true, of course. And the worst part of the duty after that was pulling the bodies out of the mud. Excuse me, I can't.